And just like the others, I do not know what this movie is. I have not watched it at all. Alien? Is this the little dreadhead people? What's this?
So the movie starts on Jackson's star in 2042, a planet with basically no sunlight, and that's around 65 light years away from Earth. Damn! Our main protagonist Rain wakes up, eats breakfast with her brother Andy, which is short.
We be having to do rate. Bro, my science class, I gotta take a geology class for my last 4 credits before I graduate. Y'all will definitely see that video when it comes, cause whoo, I'm about to flex. But yo, we be having to do math, rate, time over distance, bro, literally all type of multiplication, division. It's like, yeesh.
For Android, because he's actually a synthetic. So all that food he has is for Rain. Besides the milk, they consume milk. They head over to the colony administration office because Rain thinks she finally completed enough work hours to get her traveling papers. But the lady basically tells her, yeah, about that. They doubled the quota and now she has to work another 24,000 hours
in the mines.
Huh? Yeah, this planet was basically slavery. They have people working for years. There's literally no sunlight, and apparently they can just keep adding hours whenever they felt like it. That's wild. Rain turns around and finds Andy getting jumped by a bunch of kids. She resets him, and at this point it's clear the company has no intentions of ever letting her leave. Just like Sony's never letting Tom get out that suit.
You're going nowhere!
Rain gets a call from her friends and they tell her they found a decommissioned Weyland-Yutani ship floating nearby. Their plan is to steal the cryopods, basically the sleeping pods they'll need to survive the 9-year trip to Yovaga, a much better planet where they can finally escape Jackson's star. But they didn't really need Rain, they needed Andy. Since he's a Weyland-Yutani synthetic, he can access the ship, open the doors, and basically understand their systems. After a bit of convincing, she finally realizes she might as well go. Since her mother and father died in the mines, this could be her chance to escape. That night they're ready to ship, strap in and take off. But I'm confused.
I mean, if you could just leave, I am confused. Like, so you would willingly do 25,000 hours in a mine? You know what? Y'all got it.
Why wouldn't anyone question a ship just taking off like that? Wouldn't that be like a violation? Anywho, they make it into orbit, and for the first time ever, they finally see the sun. It was so beautiful, Rain had to have a minute of silence. So they finally see the ship, but it wasn't a ship. It's the Renaissance, a whole space station that's about to hit the rings in 36 hours. So they better be in and out. But now Rain was worried about Andy. He agrees to do it because he's said to do what's best for Rain, not himself. So they pull up, connect to the station, mask up, and Andy does his magic and opens the doors. Everyone else stays in the ship, besides these three. They fly through the zones and the gravities keep turning on and off. Had my man here damn near break his back.
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
Andy powers the ship, the gravity kicks back on, and Tyler finds the cryopods. There were 5 of them, so everything was looking good until he checked the fuel. Yeah, they only had enough for 3 years. They needed 9. I knew it. I f***ing knew it. But they didn't come all this way for nothing. Tyler's like, I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something. He scans the ship with this futuristic gun thing, and he gets a reading through the ship that I guess might be more pods. So they start heading towards the strong signal. Move, man. So Beyond is kind of a dick to Andy and clearly doesn't respect him. But there's actually a reason for that. A synthetic once made a call to sacrifice his mom during a gas leak to save a dozen people. So now he's like Detective Del Spooner. He doesn't trust robots. They load the cryopods onto their ship and Navarro, the pilot, flies around to Remus on the other side of the station. But there was something about Remus that was just creepy as hell. It was kind of giving.
When she was talking about that girl Rosetta,
as vibes. Andy ends up saving Beyond from this giant hole in the ground, and lucky he did because his ass would have been floating in space for eternity. They keep moving and eventually reach the room where Tyler's tracker is picking up the signal. They find it and it was fuel for the cryopods. Now they can turn that 3 into a 9. Beyond tries pulling it out, but the cooling gas freezes his fingers. Damn, frostbite. The door suddenly locks shut and you already know, them saxophones started playing. Andy tries opening the door, but the whole area had gone into an emergency shutdown. Yeah, the room they were in wasn't just some random room. They literally found themselves in the worst room possible.
What room was that? Oh wow. So things just about to start popping out that. Oh wow, y'all got it.
Rain and Navarro jump onto Remus and take a chip out of a dead synthetic laying on the floor. I mean, surely he would know what to do. Bro's been on this ship for who knows how long. They bring it back and replace Andy's module. And this had my boy tweaking bad while rebooting. But remember that fuel they pulled out earlier?
Robots.
Yeah, that was the only thing that was keeping these parasitoids frozen. So without...
I'm over here thinking alien. I'm over here thinking those claws, xenomorphs, Romulus.
That they started defrosting and dropping in the water like flies. One of them drops Bjorn and had Tyler like... As soon as he looks straight ahead, one tries clamping on his face, but he shakes it off and gets back up. Now they were on high alert, looking up, down, left, and right. Andy was still in the same position, rebooting, and Rain tries opening the door, but that shit was shut tight. Even breaking the glass wasn't working. The creature jumps right on Tyler and I don't even know if I'm allowed to show this, but it literally has his little willy in his mouth. What's that? After this, you need a new mouth. Beyond tases it off, but my boy was out cold. That deep throat was way too much. These parasitoids were all over the place and quick as hell, but my boy's spidey senses were on point. Mink! Blow! Someone get this guy a contract to Seattle. The Mariners lineup needs all the help it can get. One of the parasitoids try to jump on Tyler, but Andy grabs it. Yeah, he was back. Now die! Andy opens the door, they all run out, but one manages to make it through and...
that is crazy.
Yeah, straight onto Navarro, wrapping those nasty spider legs around her head and shoving that tube down her throat. Yeah, she was cooked. They try pulling it off, but it starts choking her, so they quickly stop. Well, that's what they thought was happening until Andy, with his new chip, explains it's actually feeding her oxygen and keeping her alive. He just didn't know why it was doing it, but he knew someone who would. They power up that dead synthetic from earlier, Rook, and as soon as he sees Navarro on the ground, he tells them, "Y'all better get the f*** out of here. Get out the same way you came in, or you will all
Die.
Leave her ass and hit the jets." They ask what is it doing to her, and Rook tells them it's planting a seed inside her. And y'all don't want to know what comes out that seed.
What's gonna grow out of her?
Obviously they don't listen because they didn't want to leave their friend out alone in space. So they freeze the parasite's tail and somehow it actually works. It lets her go and they rip it straight from her face. I'm out. You think I'm about to... I'm not watching this! No! She wakes back up, but Rook tells them not to celebrate yet. The parasite might have already finished what it came to do. He tells Andy to protect the others because humans are too emotional and not logical. So Andy tries stopping Navarro from getting back on the ship, but Beyond just zaps him. Bzz, bzz. Damn, how strong is that taser? And quickly dash back to the ship. I'm talking and Andy wakes up and starts chasing after them, trying to stop them from leaving. But Beyond and Navarro make it on board.
They're gonna leave me?
I guess they were just a little too quick.
They're gonna leave
Andy
him?
was in complete disbelief, had him standing like this. Yo, what are you doing? You can't leave us out here. Bring your ass back and get us. Sorry, I can't do that until you guys turn that psychopath off. Andy wasn't playing around. He was trying to send Navarro to the afterlife. She gets back on the ship and starts feeling nauseous. So she grabs this futuristic x-ray scanner thing, which she picked up from the station, and scans her body. Yeah, that egg was already inside her. She drops to the floor and starts having a seizure, then accidentally kicks the controls. The ship spins out, crashes into the station, and then Navarro's chest literally cracks open and this little ugly ass demon comes crawling out. Yeah, it's a wrap. Look at her friend's face. This is the only right reaction because what the f? Bjorn comes up, sees the little demon and yeah, he should have listened to Andy. The ship smashes into the station and crashes, knocking everyone out. So now Rain and the others have to make their way to the other side so they can reach the ship. They start moving through the floors until they realize their only way through is this room packed with parasitoids. They were 10 toes deep in there, but they had no other choice. So Rain uses her big brain and figures if they make the room temperature match their body temperature, the parasitoids won't be able to sense them. Well, won't they be able to see them? Well, no, because these things have no eyes. Just keep watching. So they get the temperature down, open the doors and start moving through. I can't lie. I don't know if I'll be able to do this. I'm just too much of a... Kay and Bjorn wake up and see the shedding of the alien. Like, what do you mean? Weren't you just born like 3 minutes ago? When they get up, they find this, you guys can call this whatever you want. But whoever directed this film...
I know what kind of man you are.
Bjorn gets up and tases the hell out of the cocoon. Like he was really going in there, completely destroying his taser and killing the creature inside. Psych! Blow! It
Oh
takes
my
Bjorn's
days.
eye out and starts dripping acid all over him.
Okay, this
That
movie
shit burned
is
right
crazy.
through his face and chest. And when he tried touching it, his fingers literally turned to bone. Yeah, this might be top 2 worst ways to go. And it ain't 2. Meanwhile, Kay tries opening the door, but that shit was locked. Tyler can hear her
you
through the
could.
mic while they're still stuck in this room full of parasitoids. So he starts whispering to her how to open it. But at the same time, the alien starts coming out of the pussy, the cocoon. And this thing grew quicker than Celebrity Kids. Bro was an egg like 10 minutes ago. Now he's paying
Shit, he was
mortgage.
just
Kay
zapping
finally
him.
gets the door open, but she falls over.
Man,
That scream makes Tyler sweat and the parasitoids detect him. Run. They start hitting the legs and Tyler hits them with a pump fake and throws this flare. Then Andy shuts the door. He slides through just in time, but here's the thing. It was starting to feel like Andy didn't really care about them anymore. They keep moving
like,
and
they
Kay
just
eventually
trying to
wakes
leave
up
me,
from
what?
her fall and makes it to another door. The others see her on the other side, and just as Andy's about to open it, he stops. Yeah, she was cooked. The alien was standing right behind her, smiling with the bust down grills like he's, "What it do, baby? It's the Iceman Paul Wall." Basically just waiting for that door to open, while Tyler and Rain are screaming at Andy to let her in. She's pregnant.
Don't care. Don't care.
Okay.
Still don't care.
You want to rush? Open the fucking door!
Open. I cannot cap. I have never seen a more trash cast. Like, everybody but the robot is on top. Like, bro, what is we doing? Everybody is about to be you know what? Y'all open the door, but wait. At least let me leave first. Let me at least get a 5-minute head start. You know, 5 minutes is too generous. At least a 30-40 second head start. Come on. Y'all gonna open this door and it's gonna like, y'all dumb.
Oh shit. It was time. The alien just poked her in the back and that's all she wrote. We need to move before the creature finds its way into this room.
Ooh, we
See,
would've
that comment
already
alone
been
makes Rain
running.
realize this isn't Andy anymore. Ever since they installed that new chip, he's been programmed to do what's best for the company, not what's best for Rain. He has a whole new objective now. They get into the elevator and head down to the lab. And this is where we finally find out what Weyland Yutani was trying to do. Our goal was never to study the xenomorph. We wanted to use what we found in it, Z01, to improve the human body. Make people stronger, more resilient, able to survive in other worlds that would normally kill them. The parasitoids were a part of that research. Everything we did was meant to improve and help humanity adapt to space. We simply cannot wait for evolution anymore. So yeah, now with Andy's new chip installed, he's basically trying to finish their mission. He takes the doses, and just as Andy's about to open the door, Rain sees the alien camping right outside.
Bro, it's
Yeah,
already
shout out to
fully
Detective
grown
Rain
now.
because she saves them once again. They strap up with these Halo-ass guns that literally have aim assist, and each one had 450 rounds. But here's the problem, they couldn't fire a single shot. Its acid blood could burn through the floor and vacuum everybody out into space. Yeah, it's a lose-lose situation. So basically, the guns were just to scare them. They head back through a different direction, and this time they see a bunch of parasitoids that clearly already hatched. Andy turns the lights on and yeah, this was their nesting ground. These aliens have been getting busy. Just as they're about to leave, Tyler hears Kay, so he heads back and finds her cocooned up against the wall. She was looking like she had about 10 HP left. Andy checks her and says she hasn't been implanted yet because she's lost too much blood. And he knows this because there's no dead parasitoid under her feet. But hold on, if that's the case, then that one from earlier wasn't dead either. That thing dead ass ran off. Anyways, this whole breeding ground was wild. Dead crew members were stuck all over the walls, which obviously meant there were way more aliens running around now. Kay was dying, so Andy gives Tyler the black goo to use on her. But then Ray stops him. She didn't trust it. She says, let's at least get her back to the ship first. They start heading back and open the elevator door. But right as one of the aliens is about to send Ray to the afterlife, Tyler jumps in the way. Yeah. It was up. The alien's tail goes right through him. What a hero. It smacks Andy back, yanks Taylor up, flexes the bust down grills, and that's all she wrote. Aliens are just so nasty. Rain looks up, Tyler's dead, and behind her, Andy's laid out right in front of an alien. Yeah, she had no other choice. She dashes in the elevator, locks the door, and heads straight back towards the ship. At this point, the aliens are up 40 in the first half. This wasn't even competitive at all. But then Rain has a Bron moment and stops the elevator. She tells Kay to get back to the ship, use the black goo, and let the autopilot take her back to the colony. Rain wanted to go back for Andy, and I can't lie, this couldn't be me. I'm not dying for no synthetic. That's like going back because you and Siri have a great relationship.
That's funny.
Anyways, Kay uses the Z01 while Rain makes it back to Andy. Bro was twitching on the floor like he was off the perks. She takes out the new chip, resets him, and finally gets the old Andy back, not this evil corporate one. They start making their way back and a bunch of aliens were on their tail, but they were actually scared of the gun. Rook locks all the doors because he refuses to let them compromise the company's mission. K was already on the ship with the Z01 and that's all he wanted. I can't lie, you guys did good. But I don't need you guys anymore. Damn, he really did them dirty. This is why you can't trust nobody. I learned that from a young age. San Andreas taught me that. Just as Rain and Andy are about to give up, they realize they can just turn the gravity off, and luckily they're already in a room with the controls. They shut it down, Andy grabs onto Rain and they start lighting these aliens up. Blow, blow, blow. Straight headshots. Rain kills like 30 of them. Yeah,
man,
that
talk about gonna melt through the floor,
but everything wasn't sunshines and rainbows. Now the whole room was floating with acid. One wrong move and you will become Two-Face. So they carefully maneuver through the room and finally make it to the elevator. But there's one problem. They need the gravity back on for it to work. Shit ain't magically gonna go up and down. The timer on the gravity pool was ticking, so they just try to float all the way up. As soon as Rain tries to jump, this alien grabs her foot, so she beams it, making her lose control and drop the gun. She starts floating back up, but just as she's about to reach Andy, the gravity kicks back on and she drops straight back down. Just this free fall alone would have killed me. When it comes to heights, that's just not my thing. I think I've been on scary rides 3 times my whole life. Facts. As she's falling, this alien catches her. Wow, what a great alien. Saving her life. He must be a great lad. All the acid from before drops back down, opening the room up to space and everything starts getting sucked out. So Andy had no other choice. He uses his ChatGPT head, lets go of the elevator, and he completely clears all the aliens from underneath.
Damn.
Stupid. The last alien was hiding on the side. It pops out and comes right on Rain's face so she can smell that nasty breath. Surely it can't be that bad. Just as she's about to get sent to Valhalla, Mr. Clutch Andy jumps down, grabs the gun and beams it. His system was so impressed, it let him swear. They get back up and head towards Remus. But remember when I said they only had 36 hours before the station crashed into the rings? Yeah, their time was up. Luckily Kay never left, so their ship was still there. They make it back on board and fly out just in time as the entire station starts crashing right through the rings. This shot right here just looks awesome. Rain puts Kay inside one of the cryopods while Rook is still trying to take control of the ship. This geezer was so desperate to take the Z01 back to the colony and complete the mission, but Rain wasn't having it. She shuts off the autopilot and disconnects Rook for good. What are you doing? Wait, what are you doing? Have a nice day. Weyland Yutani has been using Ian Holmes' face for dirty work since 1979.
Who is
First
even,
Ash tried to bring
right
back the alien,
so
now
confused.
Rook's trying to secure the Z01.
Oh,
and both
damn,
of these
but
geezers
did they
failed
take
miserably.
the chip
Like, you're just
out?
not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. So Rain connects the aux cord to Andy and gives him a new directive. Do what's best for them. And even though synthetics aren't allowed on your Vaga, Rain tells him he's coming with her no matter what. She heads downstairs, refuels the cryopods, and gets everything ready for the long sleep.
Man, GG's.
But then Kay's pod starts beeping. Rain opens it and somehow this girl went from barely showing to full-blown labor. The mark on her neck had black veins spreading everywhere too. So yeah, shit wasn't looking good. She starts pushing and gives birth to this giant egg-looking thing. Blood everywhere. Rain's face said it all. What the f***? Like, I don't even know why I'm covering this movie. This shit is making me sick. Rain cuts the umbilical cord, grabs the egg and tries throwing it out the ship. But while she was running to toss that out, it starts burning her hands, so she drops it. She grabs the nitrogen ready to ice that thing out. But then it opens and there's a human looking baby inside.
Hey! Hey!
The ship's autopilot shuts off, Andy wakes up, and the whole ship slowly starts falling. Rain quickly heads back down to check on the egg, but it's already hatched, and that little motherfucker was gone. She starts following the footprints, and they somehow go from tiny baby feet to colossal titan size within a couple of steps. Like, what? Andy comes down to the pods and finds Kay on the floor. When she touches her breast, black goo starts coming out. And man, guess who was looking for mommy's milk? Like, can somebody explain what the f is that? What is that? This literally might be the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. It comes right towards them and it was like, move man, putting Andy straight to bed. Ray hears Kay screaming and rushes back upstairs. But the offspring xenomorph Wembenyama human hybrid already laid Andy out for the 10 count. It walks over to its mother, sniffs her, and then this thing comes out its mouth. And I don't even know what to call it, a tongue or like its second mouth, I don't know. By the time Rain gets up there, Kay's already dead. This nasty creature was literally feeding on her. I'd rather let the regular alien end me from earlier because what even is this? But it smacks the tank away and cracks it open, filling the room with gas. She tries picking Andy up but he's completely out. So she had no other choice to run upstairs while damn near suffocating. She shuts the door, gets into the suit and can finally breathe again. But she doesn't even get 2 good breaths before the offspring breaks through the door.
No.
Like how strong is this fool? Rain straps herself onto the cables, descends into the cargo hold, planning to bait the creature down there and eject it from the ship. But this thing was way too slick. It sneaks behind her, minks her with the tail, and hold on. When did this guy even grow that? Bro barely had a tail when it was drinking Kay's blood. Now the offspring starts walking Rain down, smiling with all 22 grills showing. Rain kicks the egg, acid starts pouring out, and it burns a hole straight through the floor, sucking everything towards space. Luckily, the cable keeps her from getting pulled out, so she starts climbing back up. But of course, this demon comes back. This time, its face was completely sandblasted, and somehow this made him even look scarier, which I didn't think that was possible. No shade. But she manages to pull the lever and ejects the entire cargo section, with the creature still attached. That thing did not want to die. Rain finally makes it back inside, puts the ship back on autopilot, gets Andy into a pod, and starts the long journey to Yovaga. Yeah, wicked movie.
Bro. We gotta talk about that, bro. We gotta talk about that. I'm not gonna lie. So they really gave that girl. Did I not ask that question? Can we not cap and not say that I did not ask that question? Why did they give the black goo to the girl? That did not make no sense at all. Like, this movie was funny at first. I didn't even know it was even the movie. I'm over here thinking, Dread Alien. Is that Predator? I think that is called Predator. This is called Alien. Duh. But yo, this is it for this video, yo. Amazing video, but yo. Peace. See y'all guys in the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.